What's up, everybody? Happy Monday, Victory Monday, as we know it on the show. Time for our post-game weekly live stream, starring yours truly and Dev. And get my camera right. And we're also going to be joined tonight. You know, we had them on last Thursday. They were good people, good talking some Lions football. Our guys, Jacob and Jason from the Talking Grit podcast. Fellas, let's bring you back in the center there. There you go. Thanks for coming back on, fellas. We can't have you on without a nice round of applause there, as per usual. All right, guys. Yeah.
Not enough.
You know, Jason, you were at the game, so as we go on the show, I would love to hear, you know, some of your insights of how you think the game went from a fan perspective. I'm curious to know a couple things as far as you know, what was the atmosphere like? How was that looking from a Ford Field perspective compared to other games in the past? Let's just start off with that, Jason. You were there in person. What was the atmosphere like? Give us percentages in your mind about, you know, how many Washington fans you think were there percentage-wise, just the vibe in general.
Yeah, so Jacob and I talked about this on our podcast last night. There was definitely 2 weeks prior to that, we played the Vikings. There was definitely more Vikings fans there. Buffalo has been the best travel team.
Oh, they travel.
And they're actually relatively close.
Yeah.
I think depending on, they could go either through the Kansas side or around, and it's definitely a drivable distance. There were a fair amount of Commanders fans. They were not very loud until the fourth quarter when it looked very bleak for the guys in blue. I could start hearing some defense chants, which, you know, it's tough to stomach, but when you're kicking our butts, you guys deserve it. When Lions fans take over other stadiums, I'm super about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, we didn't win the game, so it sucked. But
in general, Ford Field is very loud regardless, right? It's a loud stadium no matter what.
It's very loud. So, I mean, I think Kansas City is probably the loudest stadium. At least they have the record. This never got up to last year's playoff levels. It might have been had we won or been able to stop you guys on offense one or two times. So the turnover is kind of dead in that. It was still pretty loud. I mean, it got up to 120 decibels in there. I mean, it's loud. Yeah. I wear ear protection in there because if you don't, you feel terrible afterwards. But the atmosphere was good for a Lions game. It was just hard when you don't stop a team on a drive offensively and force them to punt. It's just really hard for the crowd to constantly get up. So it could have been a lot better from my perspective for Ford Field, but it was still good. And there was a fair amount of Commander fans. They were relatively spread out throughout the stadium, but at the end of the game, they started to converge towards the Commander sideline, which, that's what I would do if I was a Lions fan. I go my sideline. So
that's what I'm talking about. Both punters, one punt each, man. We kind of talked about this, that it was going to be a shootout, often high scoring offensive game, and it turned out it actually was. We'll get to the comments here in the chat. What's up? So let's do it again. See more Eagles cry. They're already talking mad stuff like the Lions fans and media types were. Did you guys see that? I think there was one line. I don't know if it was a radio or a podcast guy, but he's the one like, you guys can replay this next week. I forget who it was. Like
on Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports. Yeah.
Those guys are terrible.
Those guys, please do not. Those are not our Jacob and I's type of Lions fans.
I figured as much, but I had to ask you. Yeah,
they're posting controversial things again. Yeah, no, they're terrible.
And they only cut that little snippet, and then
they are definitely in the running for the Glock Dookie Award today. There's a surprise. There's a surprise that I got. The Steve don't even know.
Yeah, you could give it to the Giants again. We have a thing called the Glock Dookie Award every Monday where Dev gives an award to like, the shittiest thing, whatever. And people catch strays. You could give it to the Giants again, Dev, because we just reminded that they won last year against Dallas, which also put us in the running to get Jaden. So they could also get it again.
Also, his son told him to draft Jaden.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe Shane. Yes. They keep replaying that over and over again as well.
And not get rid of Saquon. Look at both of them.
Yep. But and you're right. I think it's clickbait, and there's a lot of Philly radio, same things. They're saying the same exact thing. Cause I wonder, they're like, oh, if we say this, we can get some generation. We can get some content generation.
Those guys made it on the Junkies or something.
They were on the Junkies this morning. I didn't get to listen to it because I didn't go to work today. But yeah, Jack Attack, what's up, Jack? Rubber match versus Philly next week. Let's go. Delay of stream, 5-yard penalty. Hey man, we're always late. We're just
on color people time.
Blame it on Jacob and I. We screwed it up.
Don't blame it on me. You were the one late again.
I was the first one in here playing the flute all alone. By the way, I was playing in Ocarina by myself for 10 minutes.
Yes, he was. Ryan, what's up, Ryan? I told you 5 pickle turnovers. They were due for another rough outing. Yeah, we talked about it at the very end because I asked you about the golf game versus Houston where he threw the 5 picks, and you explained what happened in the context. And Jim Sleazy, what's up? The magic of number 5. Yeah, everyone said it. Our comrades here said Jaden Daniels was the X factor, man. The delay is Phil trying to come up with a list of reasons why De'Ami is trash. Phil's not here. Thursday when he comes back, it will just be us grilling Phil about De'Ami Brown the entire time.
Yep.
He's pretty
and Paul Rudd. He had another good movie.
Terrence, what's up, Terrence? Mean Green, our friend of the show, Eagles fan. Says this is a game we waited to see wildcard weekend. Can't wait to see this game.
Hey,
championship. Let's go.
No more comments from the Terrence, man. We ain't got to talk to Eagles fans this week, man.
Thursday. We talked to him Thursday. Sorry for your loss, man. Dios de bendigas. Quiet, Jason. Oh, no way the Commanders score 45. That was a quote. Say that. I don't know.
Let him on blast.
I think that was at the end when we were bantering. Yam says, what is wild about this is before a couple of these Lions podcasters and radio hosts went viral, there was no rivalry. Most of us respected how Lions, the coaches. Yeah, I think we still do. I think it was just that the people you guys talked about, I don't know what you classified them as. They were just trying to generate. It worked.
Right.
It worked. Yeah. Clickbait.
That's what they're all about. And I can't stand that for any fan base. I mean, and if you're going to go to the lowest common denominator on any fan base, you're going to find the worst of the worst. And Jacob and I came on here to be respectful to you, just, and
absolutely
for inviting us on and stuff like that. We respect you guys as opponents. You guys kicked our butts, and we'll take it.
And we would have gladly did the same, either way. And like Yam has a good comment, one of the Lions to go all the way, if not us. I was torn between the Bucks and the Lions of wanting from the NFC to go all the way. I love Baker's story. I like Dan Campbell, what he's assembled. So I would have been happy with either of you guys going all the way, but I'm happy it's us now.
I want everybody to understand that I was the only one that had us winning.
Yeah, we'll relook the
score. Had the score right. I almost had the score right, by the way. I know this.
Yeah. I had 33-27. Jason did make a score. Jacob said Lions time of possession. Jack had 48-47 Washington. Ryan had 37-24 Washington. Tia had 30-23 Washington. Jim had 33-28 Washington. Tim had 34-31 Washington. Marcus had 30-28 Washington. Todd had 35-21 Commanders. Dev had 34-27. And Phil had 33-27 Detroit. So Phil and I picked Detroit to win. Everyone else picked Washington to win. So that's how it went. All right, guys, as you know, on our post game, we're going to do a little bit of film review like we always do. We're going to go through, earmarked a couple pieces of footage that we can go through. And let me first find these. But just going through the numbers here very quickly. You talked about time of possession, Jason. I'm sorry, I don't know who said time of possession. Jacob, you mentioned time of possession.
That was the key.
And
didn't work out.
It wasn't crazy lopsided. It felt like it was towards the end, but it was 33-59 for Washington, 26-01 for the Lions. And the second half, though, was much worse than the first half as far as time of possession goes. From a statistics perspective, let's go for the Lions first. You had Gibbs with 105 rushing yards on 14 attempts, averaged 7.5. Jamison Williams had 1 for 61. David Montgomery, 7 for 28, 4 yards a carry, only got 7 carries. On the Commander side, 15 for 77 for Brian Robinson. Daniels had 16 for 51, and Eckler had 6 for 47. Passing, Jared Goff, 23 for 40, 313, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Jaden Daniels, 22 for 31, 299, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. From the receiving side, Amon Ross St. Brown led the way, 8 for 37. Gibbs had 6 for 70, and Laporta 6 for 51.
Hold on.
What?
So did De'Ami Brown outdo Amon St. Rod, dog?
No. But this was his first time to be able to clap back a little bit because of that,
Yeah, a touchdown, didn't he? Amon Rod did too. He did that dumbass dance.
De'Ami Brown did not have a touchdown. He had 6 for 98, no touchdowns. Zach Ertz 5 for 28. Terry McLaurin 4 for 87 and a touchdown. And Eckler for 4 for 41. Yeah, the Amon-Ra St. Brown was, last year, Amon-Ra St. Brown was salty. Last year. 3 years ago, we could have drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown. We didn't. We picked De'Ami Brown ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then when the Lions beat us, I want to say it was that year. He kind of took a jab at us. I don't remember that guy's name, all in banter, but
he actually he has a notebook and he can memorize everybody who was drafted in front of him and what college they went to and where they went. That's not just specifically to De'Ami Brown. Was, after that game,
that's
where he made that jab.
I like that. I appreciate that.
Pretty much half the league he knows, who he has to do better than.
I like it the other way around, where your guy's the bad guy and our guy's the good guy. I think that's where it's told a lot better.
But De'Ami Brown's been taking a lot of shit all year from our own fan base, so
right?
Yeah,
yes.
Didn't you say Phil hates him?
Phil hates him. So we had Jahan Dotson. If you follow us, we had Jahan Dotson. He was a first-round pick under Ron Rivera. We traded him to the Eagles for a bag of peanuts, a third-round pick, and so he had a pretty good first year, but they didn't really give him time to develop into whatever he was supposed to develop. And Phil's a Penn State guy, Jahan Dotson's a Penn State guy. So he just had a thing for Jahan Dotson. And Dev and I always joke that, De'Ami Brown can take his place and do what he did. But it didn't really pan out.
So you guys are also Michigan fans too, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this national championship. No.
Yeah, are you going against Ohio State now because of this, or?
Yeah.
I hate Notre Dame though too, Jacob. We as Michigan fans, we hate Notre Dame too, right?
What up, Marcus?
I don't hate Notre Dame as much as I hate Ohio State, so therefore I'd rather see them win.
Yeah, I agree with you, but it's like one of the worst national championships.
Right. No, it really couldn't have been much worse.
Yeah, I'm not even watching the game. I mean, I just assume Ohio State was we talked about this on your show, or was it on the Buccaneers? No, on the Buccaneers. Sorry, Buccaneers. I thought Ohio State was going to win it. Well, I don't want them to, but I thought they were.
Yeah.
Terrence, I'll give you a call, man. We'll link up for Thursday. Yam's asking you guys: was Goff seeing ghosts like Darnold? What do you think the Goff interception thing was about?
After that helmet to helmet hit, maybe he couldn't see straight. After that, I don't know.
He was a little
bit
off.
Banged up, a little different. They had him in concussion protocol. I was concerned after seeing the hit. Jason was at the game and had no idea what happened, but I seen the replays and everything. You guys saw it. I was concerned that he was going to be out.
Do you guys text each other while you're at the game?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. I do. Whenever Phil or Steve's at the game, I text them too.
Yeah. I need intel what's going on in the stadium, and he needs to know what I'm seeing on the replays.
Yep. From a team perspective,
like Holland Nash, bro.
From a team perspective, we were 4 for 12 on third down, 33%, which is not good. You guys were 3 for 9, also 33%. We were 3 for 4 on fourth down, and you guys were 2 for 2. Total yardage 481 for the Commanders, 521 for the Lions, for a total of 1,002. It was over 500 at the half, which is insane. A couple other tidbits: rushing 201 for you guys, 182 for us, and I think that's the first half, the Lions had 160 yards rushing. And I feel had they kept running down our throats, the game would have been a little different. I mean, we were only up by 10 at halftime, but I feel like they abandoned the run quite a bit in the second half. There was only 9 rushes the second half because we could not stop Gibbs. The man was averaging 8.5 yards a carry. I feel like they just got away from the run. I don't know if it was panic. I would rely on you guys to figure out why you think they abandoned the run so quickly, but I feel like that clearly we couldn't stop it. But why do you think they stopped running the ball? Even in the early second half, they just stopped running.
Well, the first drive in the second half, we continued to run. That's when you saw David Montgomery a little bit more, and then Gibbs scored that touchdown to make it 31-28. But that was really the longest drive I think that we had was there at the beginning of the third, and then you guys had the ball all the way until the fourth quarter. Yeah. And after that, then we were down by 10. We had that turnover, the Jameson Williams interception right away, and then after that, it was Then you got to just put on the gas. Yes, you got to throw it.
Understand that point. From that point, and I, as a Lions fan, I would probably be mad at that Jameson Williams call. That was a crucial play, and I would not have put that in Jameson Williams' hands. Yeah, it wasn't open. I don't know.
I think so. Jacob and I were talking about this yesterday. I really think after the long Jameson Williams run, they thought Washington was going to overreact to Jameson getting the ball again and thought that play was going to be open. You guys covered it well. Jahmyr Gibbs was not open. He should have just tucked it and either took what he could get with his legs.
Which was a great play, by the way. We're going to look at that one. That was a phenomenal play.
Yeah. By the way, man, as advertised, the Lions' offense was as advertised. They are scary, bro. Like the fact that when I did tell you guys we could score with them, I didn't know how, but we could do it a bunch of different ways. That's a good thing about us. But I think definitely. Those guys, you got some players, man. Are you at all a little bit nervous that you're losing the offensive coordinator and maybe your defensive coordinator? Because y'all have one of the few coaches, just like us, really, that doesn't really call plays. Hey, your coach was a special teams coach before he became head coach?
Dude, Dan Campbell?
Yeah.
He's tight ends coach for Miami, then got the interim job for Miami, and then didn't get the head coach. So then he went over and was assistant head coach over with Sean Payton for the Saints. And so he did that for a few years before he came over to us.
I just wonder what you think Brunell move up or would he take him with him or what is
it's going to either be Scotty Montgomery or Tanner England as the passing game coordinator. Seems like him and Ben Johnson are fairly tight. It's going to be kind of interesting who Ben Johnson takes with him. And that's going to, kind of depend. My money is on Scotty Montgomery, our running backs coach. I think that he's going to take it. And frankly, I'd be kind of happy with it. I like Ben Johnson, but sometimes I think he could be a little bit too aggressive. And I feel like Scotty Montgomery might have just pounded the rock down the throat. Being a running back coach, he knows what that means. I'm riding with Ben Johnson. I was happy with Ben Johnson. I'm not complaining about it. Not sour grapes that he's leaving now. But you
took the Bears job, by the way, if anybody didn't know that. He took
he stayed in the division. Stayed in the division, which is a
I thought he would take the Jags job. I thought that Khan would just throw a buttload of money at that guy. I thought that's where, if you had to ask me if I was gambling, that's where I thought he would go.
You have to go where the quarterback is probably the most secure thing, and that was one of them. I mean,
you think Caleb's better than Lawrence?
No. Secure. Like, you don't know. Trevor just coming off a massive shoulder injury. You don't know what's going to happen.
In my opinion, Lawrence is trash. He's only had one good year, period.
Yeah, well, there you go. You're talking yourself into Caleb Williams then. So,
and he's already got the big contract. Caleb's on the rookie deal still, so I mean,
you got more flexibility. There you go. Right, exactly. So,
plus again, I don't think Caleb had a bad year. He just had a bad year in comparison.
And frankly, I think the Bears roster is actually not that bad.
It's not.
They actually were pretty in a lot of games this year. Just bad coaching towards the end. I mean, even the Lions Thanksgiving Day game, they blew that at the end. There was multiple games that I watched that they were in it in the end, and then poor timeout usage and all that. Yeah, it's just exactly. You guys know, you guys saw front and center. They just blew that game too. So, that's what scares me about them is just not even if they sniff the playoffs or whatever. We don't need anybody in the division getting any better, or just being more soundly coached. So that's where I'm more disappointed about it.
That's fair. A couple more comments here. Indian Lake, what's up? Thanks for joining us. I listened to some other podcasts. Everyone's saying that Jaden's deep pass to Diami was one of those beautiful passes they've ever seen. It was a tough pass. He was getting pressure from both sides. We're going to look at it. And I forget who was covering him. He had his face covered. So the way he tracked it, he was still able to catch it with a hand in his face, which was unexpected, to be honest.
He threw that on time with a big quarterback rush too.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good play, man.
That was Kirby Joseph. That was the all-pro safety that was in coverage.
Yeah, that was the guy.
I told you he ain't shit. I told you he ain't shit.
Hey, he timed that almost perfectly. He got his hand right in front of him. Like, he just, had he been further extended and hit the ball, would have been better than playing, his eyes. But
yeah,
he's all right, but he ain't no Sanders still. You know what I'm saying? He ain't.
well, one's a safety, one's a cornerback. Two separate
all
positions.
right.
I'm just messing with you guys.
Okay. For this one, we're gonna go down to this is 1st and 10, 9:34 in the first. So this is a long pass to Jahmyr Gibbs for 23 yards. I want to start off with this one. These are just just stuff to watch on both sides. We could not stop Gibbs. He's wide open. No one was covering him. This guy's a weapon, man. This guy's
Man,
just
that's
straight
because
up
they don't
weapon.
throw to him.
Hmm.
That's what we were talking about in the last podcast. We don't
Straight
throw
up
to
weapon.
him, so that's why they left him open.
I mean, he had 500 yards. He had 2,000 total all-purpose yards.
Yeah,
He had 500 yards.
He's probably a top 5 football player in the National Football League right now, bro.
Do you guys think the roles will reverse next year and Gibbs will get the majority of the burn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's running back 1 now.
Yeah, I feel like I also feel like the Lions play it smart and that they know it's a whole season. So they use them both. So Gibbs can do this in the playoffs, right? So he's not worn down. I feel like, but I think Gibbs is going to get starter level snaps next year, and then Montgomery will be the change of pace. Is how I feel it's going to go.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go to 102. 102. The score is 7-3 at this time. So the Lions were driving. Hold on one sec. Here we go. Lions were driving. It's 3rd and 1 on the Washington 17. And this was the fumble, strip fumble by Dorrance Armstrong, recovered by Frankie Louvu. The score, who knows what the score would have been after this one, but this was a tough play, man, especially down in the red zone for that to happen.
If you look at this play, if you want to back it up, so they come in, what they're looking for. Amon-Ra has a lineup over Bobby Wagner. That's the matchup that we want on the bottom. He's in the slot right there. Yep. They got him on Bobby Wagner. He's supposed to just make a cut out.
Oh, he fell.
Amon-Ra slips. Yes. It messes up the timing, and then at that point, Goff's already got pressure on him. He just doesn't feel it, and they end up knocking the ball loose.
That was a first down or at least 6.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Having a Lions fan on here while we do film breakdowns is dope as shit, because I didn't never notice that, and I watched this game like 3 times since I never noticed the guy failed. Did they even say anything on the commentary?
They showed it.
Okay, I didn't even know that. That could have been probably a big ass play, bro.
I mean, look how much this whole
at least that's the first down.
That's a minimum first
and goal.
Yeah. He probably took the shit out of a Butler back there, bro.
Yeah,
was that Butler back there? He probably
minimum first down.
Yeah, minimal.
And, not unlike you guys, we do stuff like this on 3rd and 1 because if something happens and, it's not there or Goff has to kill it or something, we have no problem going for it on 4th and 1. It was just obviously that's worst case scenario,
right.
Sack fumble.
Right. And it as a fan who's not used to going for it on 4th downs, we do it all the time. I just got to get used to it, man. These guys, it's almost like Madden. Like, you're just going to refuse to punt.
Right.
I'm like, take the points. We did it versus Tampa again. Take the points. But they didn't want to take the points. But I'm just used to it now. It's kind of nerve-wracking as a fan. But yeah, it's okay.
Well, if in what we do, Steve, it gives you a ton of talk about.
Yeah.
Because when it works, everyone's on board. When it doesn't work, then like for us, why didn't the Lions run it there? They're running all over.
Yeah.
Why did they just run it there? Well,
killing us.
The problem with us, it hasn't knocked work for us yet, which is insane. We're like at a 93% conversion rate. It's coming, and we're going to be in the same boat as we should have. This, I still scream kick the field goal every time, but what do I know? JJ Folsick, thanks for joining us. At Ben Johnson was surrounded by talent, not a big loss. Commander Nash, Jay Nash, what's going on? Super fan, awesome game. I want to say congratulations to Detroit on a great season. If it wasn't for playing us, I'll pull for y'all. Jay's a great guy.
Plus about that field goal, Steve, you're right. We have like a really high success rate on going for it, but here's my problem with it too. And I'm like, man, I feel like if we stop going for it, maybe that's what triggers our offense to keep going the whole game. Maybe that's something that pushes those guys to say, hey, we believe we can do anything because we go for it. Maybe that's something in the back of their minds.
Like a survival instinct kicks in.
Right. Maybe that's why he keeps going for it. Even though, because honestly, the last 2 games, playoff games, if we kick field goals, we walk those out. There's no sweating at the end of those games. He kicked those field goals we did not get that were probably like easy field goals. Like shit, those could have been just walk-offs. We wouldn't have had to wait to the last plays and shit.
If you guys would have kicked field goals instead of scored touchdowns in those red zones that you guys didn't go for it in this game, Lions had a shot at the end of the game.
Closer
because you lost. You would have been down like say 2 of those ones that you went in the red zone. You kick 2 field goals. You're down 8. You lose 8 points off your score because you end up scoring touchdowns on that. The Lions are within a touchdown on that last drive. Jared Goff probably doesn't throw a pick. I mean, it plays out totally different because you're going to play different. You can't say that, but
one possession versus 2 possession game. It turns into a 1 possession game.
It makes a big difference. Yeah. If you didn't get them, then obviously it's huge too. So I mean, you got the touchdowns, but it would, to me, my whole philosophy has changed from yours, Steve. Maybe you'll get there next year or the year after, but put the pressure on the other team. Do it, because your team the players love it. Like I have faith in you. They know what they're going to do, and you're giving yourself another down to work with. They give you 4 downs. You forever. I mean, how many times growing up did we watch? It'd be 4th and 1 at the 45 and they're punting. It made no sense. You're gaining 20 yards of field position for nothing. And especially in today's NFL where there's so many pass interference penalties and things open. That maybe back then when you were allowed to play defense, it might have made sense. But now that you're not allowed to play defense, I say not allowed to play defense because you're not allowed to touch them. There's so many penalties. I feel like it's way in the offense's advantage that you need to take care. You can't rely on your defense. Even if you have a really good defense, they're going to get burned sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think of it like that. You're right. You could honestly just throw it up and either it's going to be an interception, which is a long punt, or incomplete pass, worst case scenario, or it's going to be a flag. And most of those odds are in your favor if you're on offense. Throw it up. Hey, get your feet jumping up with this guy and jump, flag, or throw it short and come back for it and run into him, flag.
Yep.
I get it. You're right.
JJ Fulsick says Detroit needs to put Graham Glasgow on the bench. He played terrible, 9 pressure.
Who the fuck is Graham Glasgow, bro?
It's one of their linemen, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
he's a guard,
left guard. He's had I would say a rough season. Last year he had a pretty good season.
What's up, Todd?
Was he replacing your starting left guard?
That guy was the right guard. What's his name?
I had 2 bad guards in there.
So Zeitler was out. Mahogany replaced him, and Mahogany had our highest PFF score on offense of 92.
Isn't it crazy how that works sometimes? Yeah. Just insane.
Well, when you play between Frank Ragnow, all-pro center, and Penei Sewell, all-pro right tackle, that probably helps your score a little bit, I'm thinking.
Yeah, straight up. Yam says, thing that makes the Commander dangerous, we're in enemy territory, simply have 4 downs, where the rest of the league only has 3. That's just like you said, put the pressure on them. This is new for me as a fan. I'm getting used to it. I'm trying to, get out of that mindset of take the points, because if you can make it, they got to stop you somehow. It tricks the other team, especially when you're going no huddle. They're tired and they got to keep going. So at the end of the first quarter, 7:48, 7:12. Time possession was relatively the same, and the score was 7-3. So it was pretty even. So moving on to the beginning of the very next quarter, this is how the Commanders opened up the next quarter. This was the 42-yard pass to De'Ami Brown. I think it was on Brian Branch, if I'm not mistaken. This was a good play. Let's watch it. Be right. What's going on? I got 5 on it. There you go. Not sure what happened in the back of the end zone or back of the zone there, but it looks like there's just a little bit of miscommunication and a hole in the zone, and he found it. You can see it right there. They kind of crossed him up. These 2 players had one. This guy kept going, following Terry, and it left the whole thing wide open. So
I think that play worked. I think that play defensively, the Lions got what they wanted. It's just that they got no pressure, so you were able to wait. It's basically they out-routed the coverage.
Yeah,
they shouldn't have had enough time to pull that off. I mean, there
was no pressure on that one.
And that's what it really was. It looked like it probably should have went to the flat out there to Bates, whoever's on the left over there. I don't know who that is, but
that's Bates up there on the top. And he was open. Time of possession's huge. Yep. Todd Samuel.
It's just hard to defend when you have a deep cross like that, and when you have all the time in the world.
Right.
Somebody's going to be open deep
every time.
Yeah, this is one of those cases where you miss Aiden Hutchinson. You guys said it last week too. I mean, that guy is just. I love Aiden Hutchinson. You definitely missed him.
Well, you'll see him next year when we play.
Yeah,
So
that's right. Are we playing in Detroit? Are we playing?
No, we're coming to your house.
Oh, well, let us know if any of you guys decide to make the trek here, man. We always put on the great tailgate. Everyone's welcome. People from the other team.
I might go make a trip down there, man. Honestly,
if you guys say you'll make it, we'll definitely make a big event for it. So let us know. T, what's up? T says but I will say I am petty. I hope you guys lose now. I think this must be a Detroit fans. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Just a reminder, guys, please hit that like button for us on YouTube. We would greatly appreciate it. So the Commanders go on to score on a 2-yard touchdown from Brian Robinson on that play. Excuse me, that ends up being 14 or 10-7, I believe. Now we're going to go down to the next play. It's going to be a this is the Sam Laporta touchdown, which was just a fantastic catch. I mean, by all respects. I mean, Sam Laporta came out in that draft where I really liked Sam Laporta coming out of that draft. We've been hurting for a tight end for a while. We have Zach Ertz, he's great, but you always want a rookie tight end that can kind of do it all. And I feel Sam Laporta is that guy. So this was just a fantastic catch by Sam Laporta for a touchdown for 2 yards. Let's check it out. He actually probably could have had 2 touchdown options. Both tight ends were wide open there for a second. If you look, he probably could have found this guy over here in the corner. He was kind of under pressure. Never mind. But just what a heck of a catch. We'll probably see it on the end zone play, but the catch was just.
I mean, the throw getting hit too.
Yeah.
Low key, Jonathan Allen had his best game of the year, bro. He had his best game of the year. I don't think this is Jonathan Allen, but low key, Jonathan Allen had his best game of the year. Yeah, it was Jonathan Allen.
No, that was Jonathan
on the outside pushing out. Yeah,
that was over Graham Glasgow.
Okay,
that was the guy you're talking about.
That's a great
Glasgow.
I mean, look at Jared Goff falling down in between this guy.
He couldn't make plays.
What a throw! He split those 2 guys. I mean,
the catch is better than the throw, but the throw is good.
Yeah, the catch was amazing. By the way,
that's amazing.
Sam Laporta. What's your guys take on Sam Laporta?
We love him.
Does he block? Does he do it all?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they have him in for fullback. Sometimes too, they'll line him up at fullback. He was injured in training camp, and so he started out slow. But the last few weeks, he's become a huge part of the offense. I'm sure it's going to be even more next year.
That's fair. And then the next series, the Commanders come back literally 3 plays later, and Terry McLaurin breaks a screen for 58 yards for a touchdown. And, Dev and I used to kind of rag on Terry because there's been many plays this year where Terry has had a breakaway and he's been caught from behind. Happens quite a bit. Dev, are we lying? We're not lying.
Yeah. He ain't lying.
Terry's supposed to be a burner, and he hasn't shown that he can get the breakaway. But on this play, he kind of did. Yim says 4 field goals equals 12 points for going for it on four times, making it twice, which is 12-16. Yep. All right, here's the play, Terry. We come back next drive. 58-yard screen pass, and Terry got tiny because these defenders almost had him. He was able to get tiny through the hole right there. He squeezes right through that hole.
That's what she said.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
there you go. Which is
tiny. Must be talking about Jacob.
Yeah, which is crazy though, because as a player, I mean, as a fan, this would drive me insane. We got 3 receivers up here on 2 defenders, so I know this is zone. I could do so much with this.
Just a segue. They blocked Pornhub in my state. It's been blocked for like 6 months, man.
That's what a VPN's for, Dev. Come on, give it the program.
I mean, you can get a VPN like an adult, but I'm saying
he probably found that out like TikTok right at midnight, right, Dev?
Yeah.
Right in the middle of a video too, I'm sure.
But I thought I thought Branch was going to catch him right there, and
so that's Kirby. If you rewind,
Joseph. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Branch actually blitzes. So this is a great play call because we send Branch from that side. So we leave the 2 defensive backs with the 3 receivers.
Right here.
Branch, Branch comes in.
First?
Okay.
Kirby's in the back, and then Kirby just takes a bad angle because I think he thinks they're probably going to get slowed down. Then McLaren bursts through, and then he can't catch up to him.
Yeah,
it looked like that was an option for the quarterback to hand that out. It was a triple option screen or something. It looks like he could have handed it off, ran or throw it.
And it could have been. And probably when he saw Branch, he knew it was there.
Yeah.
But that's also our one of our top corners due to injury, but Amik Robertson, he actually is the one that broke his arm on the second play. And he's really good at snuffing out these screen passes and at least slowing them down or making those tackles. And that's his backup that was lined up over there that you guys threw it to. So they both kind of just got blocked out and weren't even able to slow him down. And that was just a huge play.
Crazy.
Is that Diami Brown over there? Dynamic?
No, that was Terry McLaurin.
No, I'm talking about the block.
The block.
Yeah, the guy that was blocking for him.
No, that was
and Zacchaeus and Diami.
It was Zacchaeus and Diami. Yes, it was.
That's right. And we gotta ask him kind of block him down. Diami Brown.
Throw the block down.
That was just a nice play.
Yeah, they both blocked
downtown.
And it became a numbers game, just like you said. I didn't until we slowed it down. I didn't see that.
Look at Diami. Yeah, the main block. Look at Diami, dog. Number
Zacchaeus
2.
missed his block, but
that's Vildor. That's the backup that didn't make the play.
Yeah,
both Diami and Zacchaeus are backups.
Yam says, did you see the Bears fans hoping the Lions won just because they're so salty over the Hail Mary and Jaden? I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a theory that the Commanders broke the Bears because they lost like 7 in a row after that Hail Mary. And it's been a lot of their fan base have been trashing us for just because of that right there. That's all. Jaden's trash. Jaden's trash.
Better pick.
Caleb's going to be a good quarterback. Like I said, he's a DC product. We want him to do it. We don't hate Caleb. So stop. We don't hate you guys either. They just, I don't know.
It's just Bears fans.
You'd be pissy too if you lost 10 in a row. Believe me.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll see.
And the quarterback picked after your quarterback had.
Yeah. Here's a good question, and I asked this question too when we were playing in our Facebook group chat. I thought Hendon Hooker would have been the guy to come in, but instead they brought in Teddy Bridgewater, who was coaching high school football not too long ago. So why did Hendon Hooker not come in and Teddy Bridgewater come in?
Louisville.
Is that just the pecking order? If Teddy the backup?
You want to handle it, or you want me?
Yeah. So Teddy was signed late in the season after Teddy Bridgewater coached his high school team state championship and everything. Then he comes back, and that made Hendon Hooker the emergency third quarterback. And I think it really just came down to experience and just. I don't want to say they don't trust Hendon Hooker as much, but I think they felt better about Teddy Bridgewater if something like this happened, being able to command the offense.
Yeah,
and
it ended
up right. It ended up working out. I mean, he didn't make any big throws or anything like that, but I mean, he had one drive, and that was the drive that J-Mo scored the touchdown. So the pressure is not too big for Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, that's fair. Jack Attack says last year Detroit went 12-5, won 2 playoff games without expectations. Does this mean Washington's going to be 15-2 next year? Who knows, man? Like at any given Sunday is what it comes down to. The expectation is going to be higher than ever for this team because now we have $110 million cap space. It's going to be crazy. The NFL has so much parity. It's a league to league year. Unless you're the Chiefs, then you get all the good stuff headed your way. But Ben Harlow, dynamic Diami, yes. Did Ben Johnson seeing Jaden influence him to go to the Bears with a mobile quarterback with Caleb? What do you guys think about that?
No, he's enamored. He said some very nice things about Caleb.
Yeah.
And the media asked him, and he would kind of poo-poo all that talk during the season.
Yeah.
But he did say some really nice things about Caleb. I think like I said earlier, their roster is not that bad. You got the young quarterback.
Yeah.
The Raiders were the other thing that everybody was rumored because Tom Brady was in town.
Yeah.
For the broadcast the game, got a chance to meet with Ben Johnson, whether he was going to schmooze him because they fired their GM too right after the interview. Right before the interview, they offered to Ben Johnson, so there was like these signs, but the Raiders have nothing. The cupboards are bare there outside of Brock Bowers and Max Crosby.
Todd says crying Caleb. Todd hates Caleb wins, brother. They should play for the Lions so we can cry with Dan Campbell. So Dan Campbell clearly looked emotional after the game, and it brought up in my head talking with other Commanders fans. Yes, emotions high. You don't want to lose that game whatsoever. And then the question came up: Do we think the Lions' windows has gotten smaller? Because there's a good chance you could lose both of your coordinators, right? Aaron Glenn and Ben. You've already lost Ben Johnson. Mm-hmm. How much will that affect the team next year? Especially since if assuming both coordinators will go, which 1 out of 2 is gone, how's that going to change the dynamic of the team next year?
You want to go, Jacob, or you want me?
Yeah, no, I think the culture's already been changed, so I don't think that we really have to worry that much. And then, when you look at the roster, most of our offense is returning. Pretty much almost everyone notable.
You have all the pieces still in place.
The defense, most of the guys, that are coming back were the key players that we had already lost early on in the season anyway.
Yeah.
So we're playing, largely with backups on defense. So we we have a great roster, great team, great culture, great coach. I fully trust, Brad Holmes, the GM, in their ability to sign more players, the draft. And I think that the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator hires are just going to, slot right in. And that's also a big part, I think, of when they're doing interviews, if they do in-house or if they go elsewhere, is you've got to fit the culture. You've got to fit the mold of the team. We're not going to bring somebody in here who wants to make changes and, change the dynamic or anything like that. We've got a good thing going. And they treat that with players too. I mean, free agents, drafts, and everything. Like, if you are not a team player, if you're not willing to do what we need you to do, then you're not going to be a Detroit Lion. And I think the coaches, the coaching search is going to be largely the same. So I'm not worried about that part at all.
Yeah. Yam says, Todd, that's a terrible statement. Nothing wrong with people showing emotion, especially like a guy like Dan Campbell, how close he is with this team. Yeah, them players. And like we said this before, that the Lions model, not exactly the exact pieces, but the Dan Campbell, the way he assembled his team, the way the team loves him. I feel, we said this on our show on Thursday, that's the way the Commanders approached this game, approached building this team, constructing this team. And I'm sure Lance Newmark, a guy who was part of the Lions for 26 years, had a hand in doing that. Who's a guy who's also up. We're going to lose Lance Newmark, I believe, Dev. He's getting interviews for GM positions. He's the assistant GM to Adam Peters. So I think we're going to lose him to another team somewhere. Ben Holler said it. Lance Newmark was assistant GM Adam Peters. He's got a couple interviews. It seems his stay was short-lived here at Washington. Hey, that's what happens when your team's successful, man. And then they're just going to keep plucking away. Okay, this play right here. This is moving on to the second quarter. 5:38. Jared Goff intercepted, attended for Tim Patrick by Quan Martin. This was the pick 6, and this is where Goff got injured on the play. Looks like just an overthrow.
I couldn't get planted.
I think it was just an overthrow. I don't think was he flustered. You got to replay a few times
behind him, but I think somebody come from.
It was just the timing was off.
Yeah. Okay. So the pocket was still there. He had time. Just an off throw. It happens. High.
You cut it a little shallow, maybe.
Yeah. I did not think I thought they were going to get him. I did not expect him to make it that far.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to get tackled. I was hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst part about that play is Goff taking that shot at the end. I mean, Laporta is also, he's got a little curl underneath, and Laporta's wide open, so we could have just took some yards there. But it was also like 2nd and 14, and I think Goff saw the window and went for it. He just overshot him.
And then they put in Teddy Bridgewater. This is Teddy Bridgewater right after that.
Yeah, that's where Goff gets lit up.
Yep.
There. Luvu.
Right there.
Yeah, Luvu will be headhunting, bro.
Right.
He does. I like it. But we don't want nobody to get hurt off a dirty play.
Man.
I mean, he leads with the crown underneath the chin.
Yeah.
That
I don't know. I think it's just circumstantially he hit him like that, but he went for the hit him. I don't know if he meant to hit him with his helmet, but he went to hit him. And I also think he got pushed a little bit by Newton. I think maybe he pushed him into
yeah, Ben, we were just talking about this. Did anyone know about me that you couldn't block a quarterback after an interception? I thought when that play happened, everyone on the field is a free runner. That's what I thought. I didn't realize.
I don't think you can peel back and block them. I think you can't go out of your way to block them. But I think if they're going
what I'm saying
tackle,
is
you can hit them.
If someone's running at me and I'm running at them, it's a live play. I didn't realize the quarterback still had protections on this play because
they have
Patrick Mahomes is going to find a way to exploit this one day. He's just going to do it regardless.
They have protections if they don't run after the ball carrier. If they stand there, you can't just smack them. So if they run after them, I think you can hit them. Not obviously not with the crown of your helmet and the chin, but
yep. But then the Lions go on to score with Teddy Bridgewater in the game. A few plays later, we're going to watch this play. This is the Jameson Williams 61-yard touchdown grab. We're going to go to 4:16.
It was like the heart punching Roadhouse world. Seeing it happen to your team, man. Like right after you think, they lost Goff, and then this happens, like, there's nothing we can do, bro. That's how I felt after this play. I felt like there's nothing we can do, bro.
This is when I thought, man, Ben Johnson's just being Ben Johnson, dude. What a great play. What a good dial up. It was a handoff, reverse.
Didn't we drop Dotson over this guy?
Jameson, I think he was at Alabama.
He got hurt at Alabama. He got hurt at Alabama, so he went late.
Yes.
Olave went right before.
And if I'm not mistaken, Jameson Winston had a slow start in Detroit, right? He had a very slow start.
He was hurt. He was hurt.
He was out. He was out the first year. Well,
there
most of the first year. And then he got suspended for gambling.
There you go. And he picked it up slowly last year. He just started trending upwards as the year went on.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of like maturity talk with JMO, and the team has not shied away from that, but he's fully bought in now, and yeah, he's part of the team.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like a young Hill, bro.
Hey, you got a wide receiver too, right? St. Brown or Amon-Ra St. Brown 1, Jameson Williams number 2, Laporta at tight end. You got the pieces. So good play. We all went for was that Montgomery or Gibbs? I think it was Gibbs.
That's Gibbs.
Yeah, so they keyed on Gibbs. That was just a good play, and Jameson Williams did the rest.
If you watch that, Teddy Bridgewater just steps in front of. I don't know who he stepped in front of. If you watch it, he doesn't do any blocking, but he just gets enough
to affect
right here, right there, just to slow him up.
Yeah,
you see it just enough to slow him up.
Right
he
there.
Doesn't block, but he can cut around there. So,
and this player, I think it was Cleveland Farrell. He did not level Teddy Bridgewater.
No.
He
puts his hands up like, he tries to swim move him, but you can't go behind JMO. No one in the league is going to catch, other than Tyreek might catch him. But no one else is going to catch that guy.
Good play overall. And then the Commanders go on the next drive, going down to score. Zach Ertz on a touchdown, 5-yard touchdown. But we are going to look at this De'Ami Brown play. This was a 38-yard play. It's 2nd and 8 from the Detroit 45. There's 2:23 left in the second quarter, excuse me. And this is the deep pass to De'Ami Brown. Let it load here. I think this is the one he had a hand in the face.
Yeah.
So he's already beat one-on-one. You can see it. That's just a tough play. That was well defended by both plays. Let's look at the pressure on Jaden.
Safety did his job. Because that corner was toast. He was toast, man.
Yeah, Jaden, actually, his footwork was pretty sloppy. He threw that off his back foot. Yeah, good play. The corner was beat, but the safety came over, had a hand in his face. It was tough, man. If you look at it close up, we don't have the footage here because we get copyrighted, but Kirby Joseph really did have his face mask covered legally. For him to catch that was just pretty good concentration. And so at the end of the second quarter at halftime, it was we had 8 minutes possession that quarter. You guys had 6:57. The score was 31-21. So it was definitely a shootout going into the second half. Craziness. Before halftime,
over under in halftime.
Yeah. Jared Goff was intercepted by Mike Samerstill at the half, 22-yard return. Let's talk about Mike Samerstill. Michigan. You guys talked about it. You guys wanted him on Detroit. 2 picks for Mike Samerstill. How about that?
He did. He got some interceptions in Detroit for y'all, man. That's what.
Yeah,
I wanted, right?
Outside of just the interceptions, though, I mean, if you go back and look at the film, Samerstill does not give up on any plays at all. And he's the one who Gibbs was running free. He's the one who chased him down, knocked him out of bounds, or that's a touchdown. One of the plays you just had, even on the JMO, the big run, like Samerstill, JMO's celebrating. Samerstill is trying to get him and take him down.
Yeah,
can't say enough positive things about Samerstill.
I wish we put him on offense a couple of times. I mean, he was probably the best slot receiver in college.
He was catching passes for JJ McCarthy at the combine. They said they told us before that he was a receiver, right?
Right, he was.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize this. So after Jameson scored on that reverse, he humped the ground. I don't know. I thought that would have been a penalty, but they let it ride, man. He was getting. Did you see it, Dev?
You seen the Key and Peele thing, right? You get 2.
Yeah,
you get third pump's a penalty.
Yeah. Todd said the Lions drafted a young quarterback. I thought that's Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker's that guy, right? He was great in Virginia Tech. I'm a Virginia Tech fan.
Guy. I'm all about Goff.
Hendon Hooker's at Tennessee.
No, he transferred to Tennessee after he tore his ACL, and then he became the Tennessee guy. So Yam says, Williams had me in my fantasy football league along with Gibbs. He had them both. Ooh. I had David Montgomery, and then towards the end of the season, I was cooking, and then he got hurt, and then not his fault, but I really needed him towards the end. Ben says, hey, Cliff, does Ben Johnson plays at times too? And I'm like, why? He brings out in the first half, and some of those trick plays should be in the second half when folks are tired from the hurry up. That's true.
I would have liked to see what happened on that tush push fake. I would have loved to see how that would have broke off. against Tampa.
Oh, yeah. Todd, we talked about this early on, and Jason and Jacob here, they don't claim the Woodward Sports guys. Those guys are clickbaits. Those guys are, they give them the big thumbs down. So, yes, they were getting cooked all over social media.
Do we have that clip?
And media today. Maybe. I can probably show it at the end. I think I have it somewhere.
It's crazy they have the platform that they have, because I swear to you, it's every other day they have some sort of weird, crazy take about something. It's just...
Yeah. Are they a radio or are they a podcast?
They do from a bar.
It's a podcast, but they have all kinds of social media, prevalence on TikTok and Twitter.
They somehow get Dan Miller, Jacob. They get Dan Miller on Woodward Sports. Why? Dan Miller's a respected play-by-play guy. Very good, he radio voice, and he goes on there, and I don't get it.
We've had our play-by-play guy on here. Hell yeah, he even did our intro. Tell him.
Yeah, we have Mark Frado, who's the play-by-play guy, but at least at FedEx Field, he is the voice of the Washington
Commanders.
Commanders.
Signed copy of NBA 2K.
That's right. Mark's a good guy. All right, now we're going to go into 12-13 in the fourth. This was the Jamison Williams play. We talked about this. This was where I thought, Ben Johnson's getting a little too cute. The score's 38-28. The game's not out of reach. It's with only a 10-play difference, and then the Jamison Williams reverse, double handoff to reverse. It wasn't even there. He should have just either kept it or just threw it out of bounds. I'm actually shocked the Commanders didn't bite on this, but it was tough.
It's just one of those things, when you're the running back or receiver with the ball, you don't think to throw it away or just kill it, or when you got somebody in your face, you just try to make something out of nothing. It just unfortunate that it played out that way.
And I think you hope on a play like this that you get Jahmyr Gibbs on a linebacker, which is you're going to win that 10 times out of 10, and it just didn't happen.
He just thought he was going to.
It was on Mikey Samerstill. Mike. Of course, you guys know Mikey. Second pick of the game, Mike Samerstill. But there was also a penalty on Glasgow on that play for ineligible man downfield. As you guys continue to talk about Glasgow, like the gentleman earlier did. I don't forget where he was on the. Can't see where he was on.
He's number 60. You see, he goes past. He goes.
Oh, he went
turns around and comes back.
Yeah, he went to the second level almost. That just looks like bad habit.
He whiffed and then he's got to go back.
Okay. And he's your starting left guard.
Yes, he actually. Man. I mean, he was very good last year, and he's had some really good games this year. But he also has had some stinkers, and this was unfortunately one of them.
We have a guy named Wiley. It's like that. He gets the Glock Dookie Award. He has the record for the most Glock Dookie Awards.
Yeah. All right. We're almost done here, guys. We're going to go to 4:08 in the fourth. This was the play. It was 45-31. And I feel this play was kind of like where you knew maybe because it was 3rd and 5. Had they stopped us, you had 4 minutes left. You had time to you're down 14. You have time to make a play. You have time to kind of get back in the groove. This was a 30 or 20-yard pass to John Bates. This will be the last play you watch, unless you want to watch the last interception, but. And this one just kind of did it in at 4 minutes, and the Commanders just went down the field and finally kicked the field goal. But Bates really hasn't done much for us all season. He's had a couple clutch catches, but just goes out, blocks, and finds the open guy, and there it is. So there.
It's just another case like that. Safety is Morris Norris. And he,
excuse me. Sorry.
He I think played 6 snaps last week for the first game of the season, and now here we are in the divisional round in a huge winner go home, and then 2 of our defensive backs that played this drive, had less than 10 total snaps all year, and that was one of them. I don't know if he was just a step behind, a step late, knowing where he was supposed to be, and by that point it was too late.
Fair enough. John Groves, this brings me peace as a Lions fan. Well, John, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check out Talking Grit podcast if you haven't done so already, man.
Was that Spider Wide Banana, bro?
Spider 2Y Banana. Old John Gruden classic.
It was. He lined up at fullback, right? He went back at fullback. Yeah. Spider Wide Banana, bro. Watch. Yeah, look. There's a flood right there. Ha!
I haven't heard him make a tweet about it yet, so I'm not really sure. All right, guys. We're going to go through the rest of the show here. So let's talk about, we'll go to you guys first. Overreaction Monday, and those in the chat, let's talk about Overreaction Monday. And from the Lions fan, let's hear from your perspective first. You guys are 15-2 coming into this divisional round. or overreaction for us. The way we do this is it doesn't have to be fictional. It's an overreaction. It's okay to be extreme. So, Jason, let's start with you, man. What's an overreaction take for you this Monday?
Yeah, I'll just, it's the NFC North fans, man. They're throwing it at us that our window's over, that, we're losing our head coach and now we got to do it the hard way. So the overreaction is, can we, is this team done? And I don't believe so, but that is that's the overreaction, that the Lions sit on top of the North is done.
Fair. Jacob, what about you?
The overreaction I'm getting is from some Lions fans that are just already ready to give up on Goff. It's funny because we chant his name at every athletic event in Michigan. The Jared Goff chant goes everywhere, even to opposing stadiums. And then, to have a game like this, and then all of a sudden they're talking about, do we need to move on? Do we need to draft somebody? As somebody said in the chat already, all kinds of talk about Goff. Goff's still the quarterback. We're still riding with him. But yeah, that's a big overreaction from a lot of people.
Fair. Ryan asked the question, do you think Ben felt the pressure on that Jameson play? Felt he needed to reach into the bag of tricks at that time?
Hey, the bag was wide open.
Is that something? Has that been a play you guys have seen in the past?
That's the first time we've seen J-Mo throw it, right, Jacob? Yeah. I don't think we'd ever seen
There have been plays where it looks like J-Mo was going to throw the ball, but he doesn't. He either runs or, the play just is killed.
All the more reason it might work in the playoffs, though. If you haven't seen it all year, why not? Byron Bull says Lamar Jackson will be traded to the Lions. It's an overreaction. We can't. Hey, I'm not going to knock you for it. The Lamar talk has already started about him floundering in the playoffs. Lamar's a great quarterback. Juan,
he's going to end up like Karl Malone and Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley, bro.
Jim Kelly, almost getting there. What it do, Juan? Juan made the trek from the DC, Maryland, Virginia area out to Detroit. Juan goes to every game. Tia says overreaction. We go into the Super Bowl. That's fair overreaction.
90 minutes away, big dog.
It is. Jacob, what about you, man? Overreaction Monday. What's an overreaction for you?
Outside of the Goff thing, I guess just the coordinators too. A lot of people think the coordinators are both gone, and that for some reason that just means that we're doomed, and that almost like we're going to be starting to rebuild and everything like that. Like I mentioned earlier, the players, the roster is still pretty much intact. We have all of our key pieces are still here.
I got an idea who will be a great coordinator for y'all. I got an idea.
Is this for real or?
Yeah, dead ass. I've thought about this because everyone in this coaching tree has went on to be very successful. He still is a proprietor of the offense that McDaniels runs in Miami. He does the Shanahan's plays. He also has the Cincinnati Bengals coach, Green Bay's coach. All come from this guy, dog. Jay Gruden will be a good offensive coordinator for y'all, bro. Yeah. I'm not even joking. Guys, he's young enough to do young offenses, and he's smarter. He's old enough to understand how to do the game. All you need somebody to do is be in charge of the players, dog.
Yeah, but wasn't Jay Gruden's knock though that he just wasn't able to relate to his players enough and wasn't able to rally behind them?
They love that motherfucker. He was fucking their girlfriends and everything here, bro.
He was too nice. He was they call it Club J. The discipline lacked. His players loved him, coaches loved him. It was just it was too lax of it. You needed to boot that.
Under y'all's coach, man. Under y'all's coach.
I think he's a fantastic coordinator. Look what he did in Cincinnati. He had Andy Dalton cooking.
We had a top five offense every year he was here, man, with Kirk Cousins, bro.
Yam says, all righty, guys, jumping off. Nice to see Jason and Jacob on. Good show. Sorry, Mr. Pregame. All right, Yam. Take care, brother. Ryan's overreaction. Jaden wins MVP and Rookie of the Year. Dev, what's your overreaction?
That's not an overreaction. Oh, he's not going to win MVP, but that Rookie of the Year that's been done for a month.
Yeah.
But my overreaction, it's hard to say. My overreaction will be we're going to get blown out by the Eagles. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to own them, dog. Look, we've already hung 36 on the best defense in the NFL once. We've already hung 45 with the greatest offense in the NFL this year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why people keep doubting it. I don't know why people keep saying that we aren't going to be able to do something, because every time we've done it. Even when we lost, we've done it. The only bad game we had was Dallas. Tampa Bay, okay. First week with a rookie quarterback. But every other time we've at least met the opposition. We've at least competed every time, bro. This shouldn't be anything different, bro. So my overreaction is Philly's gonna blow us out because it's not gonna happen.
Well, my overreaction is the opposite. I think we're gonna beat Philly. Did you see the play where Jalen Hurts went down? He sprained his PCL. That thing is, and then the security guard, Dom, the security guard, he said that thing's torn. Jalen Hurts might not even play.
He couldn't even roll out the rest of the game.
So my overreaction is we might just roll through and
I'm more scared if he don't play.
Super Bowl.
I'm more scared that he don't play. That motherfucker throws 115 yards, bro. He's not.
I know.
Scary.
And then you face Tanner McKee, you're like, you have no film on him, and you don't know
Tate's
what's
going to throw 400 yards if he plays, bro.
Juan says JD 501 Super Bowl MVP. Ryan says Jay Gruden smoking a blunt in Arlington with some female on the street. It's such a great photo.
Right. That's true. That's stuff he do. He was literally smashing the players' girlfriends. That happened. So hide your babies, hide your wives.
Deuce, Red Zone in the Lab. Make sure you guys go check out Deuce, Red Zone in the Lab, redzonelab.com. Mike would be a top 5 corner in 2 years. Yeah, that's pretty good. And Deuce, Jacob and Jason here, they love Mike Samerson, but they wanted him in Detroit super, super bad. For him to be a top. So we came into this season where him being, we got our slot guy. He ended up putting on the outside. He stayed all season. I think he's definitely our cornerback 1 right now. He's emerged his way to the top. Lattimore, you got to put some more data on the table to see where he fits. But man, you guys said it about Mike Samerson last week. I see why you wanted him Detroit, and then we're lucky. We're lucky we have him because as a slot corner who's now playing on the outside, man, the kid can do it all. Do it all. Appreciate it. Steve W. just want to see the NFC win. Go to JD5 or Saquon. Okay.
What they call that award in hockey, the Conn Smythe Award, where they give the best player in the playoffs? Is that the hockey?
I don't know.
They don't do that in the NFL. What I'm trying to say, it would be dope if they gave a playoff MVP like the NBA gives.
Yeah,
it would be pretty dope.
You got the 3 white guys on this podcast, and none of us know the hockey award.
Yeah,
and
I know. I like a little bit of hockey.
Come on.
Yeah.
First off, Steve is Asian as shit. But
gotta hit him with the gong. Steve W, thank you for hanging out with me. This is your first interaction with us. Thank you, Steve. Ryan said, "Did you see the Jalen Hurts
interview?" He got called white, and his parents smiled a little bit on that.
I'm mixed. I'm half and half. I'm a halfy. I'm a hybrid. Did you see Jalen Hurts interview after the game? He could barely put his hands together. Yeah, Jalen. Did you guys see Jalen Hurts was on another level, man. That dude was high. He was. I guarantee he was probably on Percocets. He was probably on cortisone. Dude, he couldn't. Did you see he was smiling?
He was out there rubbing the football.
And then watch him limp back to the locker room, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was definitely crazy.
And Quinlan, what's the name? Separated shoulder.
That's what I'm saying. The Lions might be banged up.
And Dean's not playing. He's out for the year.
Yeah.
Get them jokers out.
We'll see. All right, Lions, Jason and Jacob, give us real quick for your team. Whose stock went up in that game and whose stock went down, according to you? Jacob, let's start with you first.
Interesting question.
Yeah. Put you on the spot.
It's all right. I'm going to say the stock went up even higher on Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs just keeps getting better every week. And, in the playoff, big time, we needed him in the big way. And he absolutely showed up electric every time he gets the ball. And I definitely think going forward, he's earned more touches and probably, a bigger share of that over David Montgomery.
Yeah, fair enough. Jason, what about you?
So my stock up isn't Lions. It's just for the NFL game. The going for it on 4th down, both teams. That's where the new NFL is going, and it's exciting, and I love it. That's where my stock up.
Jacob, I apologize. Jacob, I forgot stock down. Sorry, I forgot to let you finish your stock down.
Oh no, you're good. Stock down. That's tough for me. I don't know that I have a real answer for the stock down. The season as a whole, to be able to overcome what we did. Obviously, this is not the way that we wanted it to end. So I guess just stock down overall on the Lions team. But, we're going to be back next year. Like we talked about on the last podcast with you guys, this is potentially maybe an annual playoff matchup that we're going to have with you guys.
Yeah.
Might have a big rivalry coming up. So
we're going to win every one of them.
I don't think so, Dev.
What about Glasgow? You're not giving Glasgow some stock down?
That's a good pick. But, he has been inconsistent, but he's played really well some games this year. It's just, just not a game where we needed him to not look good.
Yeah. All right. Commanders Nation, appreciate you checking us out, man. What's a time to be a Commanders fan? Deuce says, my like button is broke. Can y'all in the comments check yours, please? Yes. Hit that like button, guys. We greatly appreciate it. Jason, you got to stock down for us, man.
Yeah, my stock down it's just Ben Johnson, not because he left
Johnson.
us, but because he left us for a team in our division. That's where I don't like that. I mean, it's all power to him, but I just didn't want to see him in.
Look how it worked out for the Cowboys.
That's true. Kellen Moore might be going back, so we'll see. Yeah, I hope that's the hire, man. We kick you, we fire you, and then we bring you back.
I want Prime for the shenanigans. They even have that on Hard Knocks. Get Prime, trade Dax with first pick up Shador, Hard Knocks, bro.
But they already said that Deion's out of the running. I think I read that Deion's not even in the running anymore. He's gonna go to Vegas, man. Who knows?
Jerry's gonna open up that checkbook.
Oh yeah.
And
Todd said Commanders are 2-0 versus NFC North, 4-1 against the NFC South. Richard Warford, another Lions fan, said Commanders beat us, but we put points on that defense. Yeah, it was a shootout, man, up until the middle of the third quarter. So, CeeLo, what's up? CeeLo's kicking it over there with Red Zone in the Lab. Deuce and the fellas putting out great content, man. Make sure you go check out CeeLo and DT, Deuce, the rest of the crew over there, and Coach Breeze, man, doing the big over in Red Zone in the Lab. Dev, stock up, stock down, man. What you got?
Up, I'm gonna go downtown. I almost threw a touchdown, get the first down, play outbound, divisional round.
First down,
throwing blocks down. Diami Brown, dog.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going as my stock up. Because I think this is the first time he's had 5 catches in a game in his career, and he's done it like 2 or 3 games straight.
He had 6.
Yeah, he's done it like 3 games straight. I'm happy for him, man. Everybody counted that dude out. I told y'all all he needed was new parents, bro. Foster care is real, bro.
Yeah. Dev did claim, I'll give Dev credit that Dev said, he needed new parents. He just needed the right coaching, and, coaching kind of changed everything.
That's what happened, dog. And then my stock down would be those radio jerks. What are those guys' names again?
Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports.
Yeah, stupid ass name. Yeah. They're gonna definitely eat their words the rest of the week. Until Thursday, I'm gonna put all kinds of memes and jokes out about those dumbasses. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap, motherfucker.
Easy linesman.
I still want to see the video though. A little bit.
Lions played scared once Commanders punched them in the mouth. I don't know if you guys know Easy Lions Minute, but thank you for popping in. Richard Warford says the Lions need a big name defensive coordinator. I don't know who's out there available.
Is this the Warford from the radio show?
No, that was Woodward. Woodward. Tia says stock up Quan Martin, stock down defense, stopping the run. So I'm with Tia. My stock up is actually going to go to Brian Robinson. I've been dogging this dude for the last 6 weeks. He finally showed up. He's 15 rushes, 77 yards, 5.1 average, 2 touchdowns. He's been averaging like 2.8, and he finally figured out a way to show up. So my stock up's going to Brian Robinson because I've been dogging him the last couple weeks. My stock down was the defense against the run. Like I said in the first half, the Lions had 160 yards rushing the first half. Second half, thanks to the Lions went away from the run, only had 9 more yards, 9 more rushes for 40 more yards. So you finished with about 200 yards. So my stock down is going to go to the run defense. So we'll see how it goes. AG says, "What's up? Currently in shock." Yeah, man, we all of us still are. South, well. Thank you for joining us. South, founder of the Pookie Dookie. Richard Warford has all those guys on IR count for the loss. This is a Lions fan, so I defer that question to you guys. I know you guys have a crap ton of people on the IR, so
yeah, I'm not making excuses, but yes, losing Aiden Hutchinson, did that affect the game? Yes. Losing Ali McNeil, he was our big guy up front along with DJ Reader. Really good on the run. Yeah, that affected the game.
Yeah.
If we get those 2 guys back, I feel much better. We might be able to get some pressure on Jaden because we didn't generate enough on him.
Right. That's fair.
But yeah.
Fair enough. South says, shout out to Dan Brown. What's that dude's name? We'll say it again. Dynamic, downtown, first down, put it on the ground, almost threw a touchdown, divisional round, now NFC conference round, Diami Brown. We just keep adding
throwing blocks down, too.
He's been getting so much
throwing blocks
in
down.
this fan base, man.
Todd
checks
down,
in,
Diami Brown.
Says, Ohio State blowing out Notre Dame. We need Jack Sawyer.
That freshman receiver is tough business, bro.
Yeah. Ryan says stock up the line, even with Cosme going down. So Cosme tore our starting right guard, who's amazing. I think he was top 3 PFF rated right guard, tore his ACL, man. It was
right one going against the Eagles.
Yeah, stock down, Zane missing a field goal in the opening kickoff. Hard to find anything wrong with this game. Yeah, I'm worried about our kicker, man. There's a reason why we go for it so much, because we don't trust our kicker. We're on our third kicker this year. It was supposed to be Brandon McManus was our first guy, and then he got caught for the last year.
The Diddy party, rubbing baby
touching stewardesses on an airplane, and not guilty, whatever. But
by the way, on baby oil, real quick, while I like to just get off the subject. Baby oil, man. That's not every black family in the world has a bottle of baby oil. And no one has ever thrown a bottle of baby oil away, dog. So the fact this guy had 1,000 bottles of baby oil, when I don't even remember going through one. Any of y'all men ever threw away a bottle of baby oil, man? It's never empty.
Diddy did it, man. Diddy did
1,000, bro.
CeeLo says, FYI, Lions were still 8.5 favorites with all those guys on the IR. Yeah, that's just a testament to what the team was, man. Easy Lions minute says defense played good enough to win. Offense did not. Mikey Samerson, the rest of commanders doing their jobs. Nobody out of position. That's right. All right, guys. Jason, I'll start with you, man. If you can rattle this off. Good, bad, ugly, great from your point of view on this game.
All right. My good, if there was anything good on the defense, it was Terry Arnold, our rookie, our first-round pick. I thought he's grown. So I'm glad with that. Our bad, I'm going with Lions' fourth down defense. Ugly, two things. Lions rush defense. And our next year's schedule is terrible. We face all 4 teams remaining that are playing right now in the playoffs. We face them on the road. So that sucks. So that's really bad. The great, I already mentioned it earlier with the stock up, but I'm going to go just exciting football. I'd like to see a little more defense, but I love the going forward on fourth down. It's way more exciting than a punt. So I like going forward on fourth down.
Unless it don't work out, and then you'll be crying about it all.
It's all right. You live with it, man.
Yeah.
All
right, Jacob. What about you?
Good. I'm gonna go with Brian Branch, our safety. He had a really good game. They sent him on a lot of blitzes, trying to create a lot of pressure. He had a couple of tackles for a loss. He did force a fumble. Branch played a really good game, so that was good. Bad, I'm gonna have to say Jared Goff. He just didn't have a very good game, and it was going to be hard enough to stop them on offense, and we couldn't afford to give them points on defense. The pick six was killer. That fumble, just those. Obviously, the 5 turnovers are crazy, but those 2 in particular were bad. Ugly, I'm going to say the 4th and 2 with the 12 men on the field was just an ugly play that we just couldn't let that happen. That was a big chance to stop you guys. We were down by 3 at that point in the beginning of the fourth quarter. That's just something else. We had those 2 defensive backs. One of them was not supposed to be on the field, but he ain't been with the team long enough to really know. The coaches should have called a timeout, and that's what makes that even uglier. Is that we should have avoided that.
Yeah, 4th and 2 on the Detroit 5, 14-15 in the fourth quarter. Too many men on the field. Brady was calling it. I don't know if you heard Brady. He was talking about it as the play was going. Yeah, you're right. That's a coaching failure right there. And then we went on to score a 1-yard touchdown reset of play. So good call. Okay.
Great. I'm just, I'm going to say the window. Great is still the window. A lot of people think the window is already closed. People thought that last year, which Dan Kimball also said last year, hey, this may have been our only chance. It's hard to get it to the NFC Championship. And then here we are this year. We have a great season all year long. Missed one early on in the playoffs, and that's what it is. But the window is still open. I still think we're going to be competitive for years to come.
Yeah, that's fair. I am this noob. Go check him out. My buddy, he streams on Twitch. Big Twitch game streamer. W Commanders. What a great game. I caught the highlights. He's living down in Texas. So I think he's a Cowboys fan, but appreciate you. Todd Samuel, pick six call. So there's a little background. Todd calls every quarterback pick six someone. It was pick six Sam last year, pick six call. So don't take any offense to that. CeeLo says, good Gibbs, bad Ben Johnson, ugly coaching. For me, I got good. Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels really continues to just impress us, and he's the reason why we are. Without Jaden Daniels, this is a 5-win team. That's straight up how it is. Bad, I'm going to say our run defense in the first half. We could not stop Gibbs. I'll say it again. I'm thankful. 14 carries, 14 rushes, 160 yards in the first half. 9 more rushes in the second half. I'm thankful the Lions took the throttle off Jahmyr Gibbs because we could not stop that man in the run or the pass in the second half. Ugly, our kicker. It's hard to find ugly in this game, but moving forward, you can't. The margin of error for kickers is zero. The way we play our offense and we're going for it on fourth downs, I believe there's a lack of trust, which is why we go for it so much. Even down in the red zone, when you should take the points half the time, we still go for it. I don't know what that threshold is. At 4th and 4, 4th and 5, 4th and 3. I don't know what it is, but we don't have a trust in our kicker, and he doinked one to win the Bucs game. He missed one yesterday, Saturday, excuse me. Great. Mike Samerstill. I'm tied between Mike Samerstill and Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury called himself a hell of a game. I feel like he did a really good job adjusting to what the Lions were throwing at him. Mike Samerstill as a rookie, we talked about this. 2 interceptions, so hats off to Mikey. Deb, what you got for good, bad, ugly, great?
I'm going to say good. As you said, Cliff Kingsbury caught an excellent game. I think it might have been his best call game of the year at the right time. Bad would be the injury to Cosme. That fucking sucks. That's not really, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
that's a terrible injury. Ugly would be, man, our run defense, man. God dang, man. But here's the thing. Our offense was doing so well that I think, much like Philadelphia, the Lions, except for the Lions don't do it, the Lions just deviate from running when they get behind. And I think once you start thinking once they get one-dimensional, you can beat the Lions. You can outscore them in that because it's easier to make a mistake if the defense kind of knows you're going to pass it. Versus when it was less than 2 scores down or, a field goal and a touchdown, they were so balanced that you didn't know what to stop. That's why reverses worked. That's why counters was working. That's why draws were working, but we can't do that next week because unlike Gibbs, Eagles use Saquon in the passing game just as much.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's where the Lions can probably, I guess it would be evolve into a different level of offense if they include him more in passing other than his 14 carries and maybe 2 catches. Maybe make sure that guy gets 10 and 10. Honestly, he's that good of a player. That would be, but the great would be Daniels because they tried to blitz that guy all night, man. I don't think he got a sack once, right? Did you get it? Yeah, that guy seems to do better when you rush him.
I've had 2, Jaden has 0.
You can't zone him because he'll pick you apart, and you can't go man because he'll just run.
Hey, CeeLo, say that again, Dev. What round was Cosme drafted in?
2nd round, CeeLo. Hey, I meant CeeLo too. But second round. We have a history. We haven't had a good 2nd round pick since like Pierre Preston Smith.
Preston Smith.
Yeah,
we draft a lot of. We used to draft a lot of bad 2nd round.
Rounders, they're trash. But Cosme is 2nd rounder. Sam still 2nd rounder. Coleman, I think, is a 2nd rounder. Am I right? Everything's all generational curses have been broken with this team, man. That shit ass owner. Dallas, if you're listening, man, the only way to do it is
bye-bye, Jerry.
Bye-bye, Jerry, man. You might have to $1 million baby him, but
Yeah. Get it. Hey guys, Richard Warford asked a question. Do you think teams should wait till after the season to talk to coaches? Is it a distraction?
I think so.
Yeah. For the most part, they do. They kind of defer. But I don't know about you guys. Was Ben Johnson, clearly he was a number 1 coach candidate. Was there a lot of rumbling as the season was going on? Was he like pushing those aside as it was coming up?
He wasn't really talking about it with our media. It was focused on the team.
Yeah.
I don't think that had anything to do with this game.
Right.
But ultimately, it's really an unfair advantage to some coaches over others. If you're free and you're out there, you can do all the interviewing you want. Whereas if you're coaching on a team, and generally those are the most wanted candidates, right? Because
the ones who go further.
And so I don't know. The cycle is weird. I don't think anybody should be able to interview until after the Super Bowl. But there's no off season in the NFL. I mean, I know there's an off season, but it's like boom, boom, boom. And so I could understand why you want to get a coach and stuff in place. But the problem is you're interviewing those coaches, and now Ben Johnson's making all his calls to try to get, other coaches. And there's not a perfect answer. I'm not involved with it, but it just seems like it should wait till after the season.
That's fair. Neo 13 Souza, first time seeing you tonight. Beta Ben is gay for Caleb Williams. Didn't been a strong few Lion fans. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Not sure how to take that one, but
obviously, I hope you don't take it like Beta Ben. Obviously,
I think Ben will do fine for Caleb. Lions Minute says, well put. Lions play scared when they're down. Always trying to get the big play now. Ryan says, good. Our run game showed up in Austin. Bad injury to Cosme. Ugly Zane the Great. Boys are a unit. They don't bend but don't break. They should trust one another. Play great ball.
Lattimore had a Lattimore type game yesterday. We didn't talk about that at all. He had a pretty good game.
I think he had another zero stat line. I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Did had a pretty good game.
Yeah. So game balls, guys. We're going to give away some game balls real quick. We'll let you guys go first. Jacob, we'll start with you, man. We usually try to give one on offense, one on defense, or special teams for your team. Who you giving your game balls to? Your balls, give them away.
That's tough in a playoff loss.
It is, man. It is, but you got to see through it.
I kind of mentioned both of them already, but I guess if I have to single out two players, it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs on offense. Just, being able to do what he was doing, be a big threat. And then on defense, I'm going to go with Brian Branch.
Okay.
All over the field, making plays.
Yeah, Gibbs and Branch. Okay.
That's I'll go with Terrion just to change it up from Jacob. I think Brian Branch played a better game, but I was happy with Terrion. Jahmyr Gibbs on offense was our highlight, but I'm also going to give it to Dan Campbell. I know Todd on here doesn't like that he got emotional, but I like that he cares about it. So no shade at Todd, but that's just I like that he was emotional. So my third game ball goes to Dan Campbell for not shying away and just owning up to everything that happened in that game and caring about it so much.
That's fair. Those in the chat, give us your game balls, offense, defense, special teams. Dev and I, we try to challenge each other on this. So whoever goes first, we try to not pick that same person. Dev, I'm going to let you go first, and I will see if I can pick up the slack on the back end.
I'm going to go offense, Mikey Samerstill, or defense, Mikey Samerstill.
Damn you.
I'm not going to pick the offense on offense for you. I'll let that slide. So I'm going to go on offense. I'm going to go Robinson, man, for the same reasons you said earlier, Steve. Like, we've been on this guy's back for a while, man. It's like 6-7 weeks, man. What the fuck is going on with this guy, bro? And I don't know if he was hurt or if he had depression from the damn fumbles in Cowboys. Week 12 seemed to be like it was in the same guy. And he kind of woke up, and he was a big part of where our offense worked because we had a reliable running game. So shout out to Robinson. You get the offensive game ball today, bro. Many men.
Robinson and Samerstill?
Robinson and Samerstill.
All right. I'll give mine to I got to give it to him because we never give it to him. He has been disrespected all year. Dynamic, first down, throw it on the ground, almost threw a touchdown, divisional round. Caught a pass in his face, took it to the ground, De'Ami Brown. I hope he gets re-signed. He could be a good wide receiver 3, maybe wide receiver 4 on this team next year. He's under contract year. We drafted him with hopes to be Sam Howell's, deep ball threat, or Carson Wentz's deep ball threat, and it never amounted to much, but they're doing a lot more with him. Screen passes, put him in the running game, put him in the block game, and he's doing well. So he gets my game ball on offense. Defense, you already said Mike Samerstill, which is kind of tough. I'm gonna give it to John Allen, man. John Allen had a didn't tear up the stat sheet. He only had one tackle, but he was just a force that I feel like he was pushing the pocket back, and that's what we want him to. We're paying him almost $30 million a year to do, but he hasn't done it all year because he's been battling injury. So it was great to see him back there having a good game. So TS's game ball to B-Rob on offense, Mikey and Quan. Neo's giving his to JD5 and Mikey. CeeLo's giving his Jahmyr Gibbs, absolute dog, and Laporta, wicked touchdown catch. Yeah, we showed that earlier, CeeLo. You guys were in your show, but man, can't say enough about Sam Laporta. I know a lot of us in the Commanders fan base wanted him here for sure.
We were hoping that the Senate would be our Laporta. That's exactly
that was the hope. He hasn't got enough playing time and data to say that, but Lions Minute said Robinson broke tackles, power and speed was deadly. Bobby Wagner's presence is underrated. Luvu knocked stuff out of golf. Yeah, we saw that earlier in the play, man. We were talking about the rule about this still protects quarterbacks.
He might be MVP.
Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so we got all the game balls. Let's at this point, this is Dev's time to shine. He only gets one shot. Let's let Dev give away his Glock Dookie Awards. All right, Dev.
All right, today's Glock Dookie Award winner goes to the first person to ever win one. This is his first one. It goes to Steve, man. You're the only one that didn't believe last Tuesday, bro. You're the only one that didn't believe.
Okay.
Steve picked us to lose.
I will.
Jason and Jacobs podcast, The Talking Grit, dog. He said on national podcast if that's the thing. And we were gonna lose, bro. He had us losing. Left me alone, dog.
I did.
Left me alone into the thick of it. That's where I was, man.
No. So hold on. The Bucks game, I had us winning 27-26.
We ain't talking about the past, bro. We're talking about what happened the other
last
day.
week I said 33-27, the Commanders would lose. I'll own that one. I'm being realistic. I look at the data in front of me. I'm not being a homer. I picked the Commanders to lose multiple times this year. I'm not going to say they're going to win every game. Hey, I love being wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. I don't care that I'm wrong. It's part of it. Just like the Woodward brothers.
Ever accept the speech for a Glock Dookie Award.
Yeah. I will gladly take that Glock Dookie Award, Dev. Give it to me. Respect from West Michigan. Hail to the Redskins. Washington Commanders. Hail to the Washington football team. So you got us. Todd.
You know who should get it?
Who?
Phil should get it for having to miss the 2 playoff games because he's on cruise with his baby mama.
Phil's been on a cruise. He missed both of them. Yes, Todd, I picked us to lose 33-27 in the shootout. I was probably leaning more towards Vegas, but any given Sunday, just like we talked about, trusting JD5. I do trust, like we would be a 5-win team without him. Straight up. I think so. Ryan says, Steve, I'm taking my light back on this podcast.
Mariota
I'm sorry, man.
won game.
Can't be a homer, man. I look at what's in front of me. I look at the odds. And
Mariota
wrong.
got 1 win for us, bro. You gotta give Mariota some.
No, there's no way, dude.
Mariota got 1 for us, man.
No way.
He won 1 for us, and I was at the game, the Carolina game.
No way, man. All right, we're gonna wrap this one up here, guys. We do want to thank our buddies from the Talking Grit podcast, Jason Harwood and Jacob, for coming on. We appreciate you guys. It was a hard fought game. Clearly, the Commanders came out on top, but we're trying to get up to the 15 wins like you guys are. Hopefully you guys can bounce back next year, and the better team won on Sunday. So Jason, closing words before we shut it all down.
It's tough for me to say, but good luck this week. I don't like the Eagles, so I'm
we don't either.
So good luck this weekend. Take them down, and just go all the way, and that way we could say we lost to the Super Bowl champion, right?
Yeah, there you go. Jacob, how about you?
Hey, man, I second that. Hail to the Commanders, right?
Yeah.
Both modest teams, two of our closest friends are both Eagles fans. So
yeah,
no one wants the Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl.
No.
If that happens again,
Commanders,
if it's Commanders versus Bills, at least that's a really good game. Those are two fan bases that deserve that.
We beat the shit out of Bills if it's the Bills.
It probably look like this game for you.
I think. After the Lions, I think this will be the hardest game out of the 3.
Well,
if we beat Philly, dog, I think that's the other 2 teams are not as good as Philly, personally.
So we played the Bills in 1991 season. In 1992, we beat them. It was Rippin versus Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Ernest Biner, Ricky Irvins, the Andre Reed, Don Beebe era, 37-24. We beat them.
Protect my bowl season.
Yeah, you
beat the Lions to get there.
That's right. We did in that round. Lion says, what happened on that Mariota pitch on Robinson or on Marcus?
That's
if
on
I
Robinson.
could find it, I don't remember what quarter was that in. You guys remember when we?
That was your first drive.
That's right.
Yeah,
the Lions just completely stuffed that line. I'm like, Marcus Mariota, he almost ran up into the line, and then
he was supposed to toss it back to Daniels, but Robinson ran into him. He didn't get the memo. It was a fake tush push. He was supposed to turn around and throw it over, and it would have worked. No one was there. It would have been up the sideline. That's why I said earlier, Steve, that I wish that play would have went through. I wanted to see what would have happened.
I got it right here. Let's hold on. This was yes. We'll look at it very quickly before we can look at it right here. Oh, sorry.
I thought it was. I'm so high. I thought it was him.
No, it was right here. Let's look at it very quickly. You guys talked about it. So Marcus Mariota's in the shotgun. Comes up to the line in motion.
See, turn around. It's gonna be a toss to Daniels.
Yeah, I think you guys are right. Like this, they all bit.
It's a toss to Daniels, bro.
JD could have had it.
He had it, bro.
But Terry wasn't even blocking, so that's kind of weird.
Well, you can't block until.
We did have defenders with eyes on Jaden, so I mean, it would have been a close play, but
all they need was 1 yard though.
I feel like Terry didn't even know that was happening because why would he not be blocking if this
all
was
they needed was like 1 or 2 yards, bro? He would have definitely got that.
Yeah, it was 4th and 1. It would have been a race to the outside.
Yeah, he'd have got 1.
You know what? I feel like that was just gonna be a handoff. That's why.
No, it was the toss to Daniels, bro.
Why would Terry not block?
It wasn't Terry. It was Robinson ran into the damn quarterback.
No, but look at Terry up here. He's not even selling it. He just stops.
It might have been a pass, bro. He might have threw it out there for a pass. It might have been he released in the corner real fast, bro. It might have been some crazy shit. We'll never know. That's my point. Because Robinson fucked it up, bro.
Todd says Lions should bring Clint Kubiak in for offensive coordinator. I don't know if you guys feel like
he's too old school, bro.
Kubiak.
They got those new wave players down there, dog.
Ryan said, great game. Would have rooted for the Lions if it was the other way around. I hope Ben Johnson does nothing with the Bears.
Yeah.
He's dead.
I agree.
In the division, man, dead to you now.
Yep.
Ryan said, fake tush push. Brian Robinson trying to take the ball from Mariota.
Do you guys still believe in Goff after this? Is that the guy you think can take it to the promised land?
I mean, yes, I still believe in Goff. Would I rather have Jaden Daniels? Yeah, I would like to have someone with some legs, but I trust Goff. That whatever happened in that game is not normal for him. I think getting hit in the head did not help at all. And then the offense, we couldn't stop you guys.
What's up,
we could not stop you guys. And I think, the offense had to be perfect, and we were nowhere close to being perfect.
I mean, 5 turnovers, and we end up losing by 2 scores. So
yeah. Whereas in the Houston game, 5 turnovers and you won 23-26, I think it was.
Houston, they got the offense, the same offense.
That play gets a Glock Dookie. Run the ball.
I think between both of our teams, if we lost our offensive coordinator, it's more detrimental than you guys losing your offensive coordinator. I don't know why I feel that way.
With the rookie quarterback and everything like that.
Yeah. I doubt the second year will be as successful if Cliff leaves.
Yeah. But the good thing is, like Jacob and Jason said, they have all the pieces in place. You got veterans, and you know what I mean. You're not building from the ground with a first or second year quarterback. So, Tia says, "I have a grand honor coming this summer. Congratulations!"
Hey, I had my first one here in December, man.
Todd said, "Let me send in some LSU gear." Todd's down in Louisiana, so. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We'll link up as we get closer to the draft. We'll talk about strategies and where we're going to go. Question from AG real quick before we sign off. Who's the OC for Detroit now?
Brunell.
Scotty Montgomery. That's what I'm going with.
You think Scotty?
Not Mark Brunell.
If I had to bet, I would also say Scotty. He slots in. He's a pretty good leader. But
what if he takes Scotty with him? That happens a lot.
He's not gonna take Scotty. Scotty's gonna stay. If he gets offered the OC job with Lions, I bet you he stays.
Because it's a known factor. Like, why would you know what you have with the Lions? You don't know what you're going to have with, the Bears. I don't know.
Yeah.
But who knows? There's
some significant free agents you got to sign.
Lions minutes is Scotty Montgomery or Antoine Randall L. I didn't know that is he on the coaching
staff?
He's
our wide receiver.
Wide receivers, okay.
I love Antoine Randall.
He was a receiver for Washington. He threw a bunch of trick plays, man. Also a former quarterback in college. So he did it. All right, guys, we're going to sign out. Just like last time, the description and where you can find the Talking Grit podcast is already in the description of this YouTube video. It's already plugged in there. Make sure you guys go check it out. They got a lot of good content over there. We're going to get together as we get closer to the draft, talk about our team strategies and stuff. But guys, it was a great game. Best of luck to you guys in the next season, and we'll go from there. And it's on to Philly for us. We'll be back Thursday for the pregame preview. Probably have me and Green on here, talk some Eagles, and we'll see where we stand for the Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff for the game against the Eagles. So, guys, thanks for coming on, and we'll catch you next time.
Always appreciate you guys.
All right, guys. As always, we love you guys. Peace and hail. We out.
Hail W's.